Lately, I've been seeing a lot of videos on YouTube just about, how the game's been changing from title to title, year to year. A lot of people saying the classic, this is not COD, COD is changing, make COD great again. And it really made me think, what exactly is COD? A lot of these people are complaining and giving a lot of reasons. Actually, I'm sorry, they're not giving any reasons why it's no longer COD. You hear a lot of the, boots are not on the ground, it's space, but I started to think to myself, what exactly is COD? When I first started playing COD back in the Modern Warfare 2 days, it was a totally different game, and it had nothing to do with the game itself, and it took me a lot of years to realize what exactly it is that turned me on about the game to begin with. Here's a little clip of what exactly COD used to be like back then.
Yeah, I'm from the Bronx. See, I don't know about him, but I'm from the Bronx. What's wrong with the Bronx? Hey, you know, what's wrong with the Bronx? What happened?
Get the fuck out the game, bitch.
See, there you go. You know you're a bitch. You always tell me you're a real bitch. You know that?
No, yo, chill. Yo, my nigga.
Yo,
BS.
shut the
fuck
up,
son.
Chill,
Yo,
let
man,
me
stop.
Let me
measure it cause it's wee-wee.
Yeah, see, this is between me and that thing, you bitch kid.
So yeah, COD was a lot of trash talking. It was a lot of one-on-one or groups on groups, and it was all about who could be better than who. It took me till I don't even know which title it finally was where I realized what I loved about COD was the instant satisfaction I got from being better than another person and shooting somebody and getting that kill, and in that one-on-one close-range gunfight, I was better than you. And that competitiveness is what drove me to keep wanting to get better and better at the game. I never wanted to be bad at it. And in those days, in the Modern Warfare 2 days, there wasn't the scene was just totally different. YouTube was just starting out, and people were not going on there and doing the things that they're doing now. All the gameplays you would find then were from really, really great players that would get on there and they would put really high scores, and the community, in turn, wanted to emulate that and post really great scores too. Nowadays, you don't have that. And I wondered why. So again, I thought about it some more. So the game's obviously changed a lot since Modern Warfare 2. Back then, we didn't have many options when we played the game. You had a campaign and you had a multiplayer, and there was millions of people online, and that was it. And there wasn't supply drops, and what you did was you played these games, you got your kills, you ranked up your guns, you got your camos the regular way by playing. And even if you go back to that, all of the challenges to unlock the camos were all tactical type missions where it was all about getting headshots, and there wasn't any special camos like diamond or dark matter for unlocking everything, because it wouldn't, and I'll get into why that's important. It just wasn't like that. And honestly, maybe it just was the fact that YouTube wasn't such a social platform at the time. People weren't all that aware about going off for these camos. Like, it wasn't really a big thing, and calling cards and emblems. It added, there were very few layers to the game itself. You just got in a ground war game and you won. You lost, you got pub stomped, or you did the pub stomping, or you got your AC-130 and just annihilated everybody. The pro scene was not really there. It wasn't very prominent, and so that didn't segment the market like that. And so moving forward from there, when I think World at War did have zombies, but I never played that. But Black Ops, I guess, had zombies. I never played that. But if you go game by game and you start segmenting the groups by adding in co-op missions, you add zombies, and now you have multiplayer. And as you added games, there's some people that just don't push forward with the new title. I know people that, I had a friend that he played Ghosts. He liked gun game on Ghosts, and that's where he stayed. And even when Advanced Warfare came out and Black Ops 3, he never bought it. He just stayed on Ghost, and that's what he liked playing. So there's many people just like that. So what you're doing is you're splitting off the market, right? You got less people playing each new title, and even in there, they're playing different types of games. You're in not just zombies, not just campaign, not just multiplayer. You've also got people doing private matches because now they're starting to play online more with their friends. And they're creating new games like Michael Myers or Infected or whatever other games they've invented to just enhance their experience and do something different and not be involved in, honestly, probably some of the stuff you saw at the beginning of this video. They don't want to get in with a bunch of idiots talking crap to each other. That's just not what they're interested in. Maybe they're young. Maybe they just don't know how to stick up for themselves. Maybe they just think it's silly and they don't want to be involved in it. So they're splitting off. Now, if you fast forward and you've got people playing for other things other than just winning, right? You've got people going for certain camos. They need to get knifing kills. They need to get leaning kills. They need to get sliding kills. A bunch of stuff that's not that tactical and doesn't help contribute to the game. Now you've got, out of a team of 6, you got one guy who's running around with a knife. That guy's useless. All he's doing is getting deaths and giving free kill streaks to the other team. That is affecting the game in a negative way, right? So the game itself, what exactly is COD? That's COD. It's the meta behind it. It's everything outside of what's in the game. The game itself is you have a gun and you shoot other people. And they make different game types for you to have some different kinds of objectives. But if it wasn't for that interaction, you shooting other people, there would be no COD. That's why Team Deathmatch is by far the #1 most played game mode. There's no objective there other than get kills. People still want that one-on-one interaction. But when you've added in all these other layers, then the game becomes different. And that's what's causing these differences. Now you've got, teams of guys running around with baseball bats in Black Ops 3 because they want to unlock something. Or, then and that's unfortunate because that takes away from the game. That takes away from your experience as a player. If you're going for a classical COD experience. So my argument here is, if COD is, what is COD? COD is really that meta of, I'm better than you, and that's why I got that kill. And that's why I did better than you in that scenario. That's my satisfaction from playing the game. It's not the map. It's not the kill streaks. Because you know what? Modern Warfare 2 had some pretty messed up maps. We never really complained about them. But there's a lot of really bad maps that were like, for example, Afghan, where you could sit on top of the cliff and just snipe or noob tube. And, Danger Man, or what's it called? Danger Close One-Man Army, noob tube in the back of Scrapyard on the top floor. You were untouchable. If you could make your way to the top of the building on high rise, you were untouchable. So many things about those maps were broken. We never complained. It was all part of the game. And it didn't bother us because the game was so simple and basic, and that's what we liked. So the question is, where did this come from? Where did this change actually happen? And the answer for that is us. Us as players drove these changes to happen. We kept saying, there's no innovation. There's no innovation. This is the same thing year after year. In order to satisfy us, the developers were required to change. They had to add stuff in. They had to perfect some things. If you went back to Modern Warfare Remastered now, you would see how little content is in there. And it would get boring quick because there's things that you're not going for anymore. There's no things to unlock and seek after. And for that reason, the randomness of supply drops is cool because it gives you opportunities to, by chance you might get something you like and something that's rare. So this thing is that they've put in the game is because of us, because we said we don't want the same thing every year, but really we did. So the question is, how do you make that experience of the game, how do you change it back? Because right now we've sort of morphed it as consumers. We've morphed it into something that we didn't want it to be because we didn't know what it could be when we asked for it, if that makes any sense. We complained, and it's that whole thing of you don't know what you have till it's gone, right? We didn't like what we had, and it changed to something we didn't want. We didn't realize that we didn't want, and so now we want back to what it was before. And I would like to make my channel one where if I'm posing questions like this, I at least answer them myself and what I would do. And I think that would help, at least give an opinion, an idea. So I'm not just another person complaining about something I don't like, right? So I don't really like space. I'm not going to lie. Infinite Warfare, for me, is not my favorite COD. It's manageable for a year. What I like and what I would like to see is back to, the classic boots on the ground. With a caveat, since Modern Warfare 2, and now you go back, and this is the best year for you to find this out. Go back to Modern Warfare Remastered, literally the polar opposite of Infinite Warfare, and see how slow that game is. And that's not what I want. Ever since those days, the game's totally changed in a good way, because of technology, because people are getting better at the game, right? We've got faster internet speeds, so connections are way better, so you can actually play a much faster game. You have people are playing with monitors, everybody's using headsets, people are using SCUF controllers, and people have played this game for many, many, many years, so they understand the general mechanics of it. So players are way better now than they've ever been. That's why they can manage these up and down and looking up and moving left and right and all these. Back in the day, if you did a drop shot, you were considered advanced. Now it's like drop shotting is not even a thing anymore. Which, by the way, it's back in Infinite Warfare, so please do use it. It was gone for Black Ops 3, but it's back. We need a game that's fast, and we need a game that's boots on the ground. So we do need a fast COD. The sliding is good. Have players that can constantly sprint. So you need to keep endurance in there. It shouldn't be a perk. It should just be built in. I believe the way that it is now, sliding is good, and not this boost sliding that they've got in Infinite Warfare where it's super OP and people actually accelerate into their slide. That's not physics. So that needs to be more natural, like it was in Ghost or Black Ops 3 to some effect. And then really fast shooter. If you play the game fast and the game moves fast, you don't need verticality. And that's what people want, because we're so much better at this game now. Our reaction times are better. We learn the game faster. We understand the maps better. So we need faster games that we can keep our twitch reflexes going better. So that's going to be all for this video, guys. In summary, bring it back to boots on the ground, like everybody else is saying. Make it modern, like everybody else is probably saying. But keep that level of engagement high and fast, and a really great one-on-one shooting game. And that's what I would like to see for this game. Once again, that's all for me for now. Thanks for watching, guys. And please feel free to comment below, and I'll be more than happy to carry on the conversation.
Heyday, Orion. New mission just came in.